please put it on. I was gonna ask that next. We are now recording. For those of you that don't know, our meetings are on Facebook and on what else are we on? On YouTube. So we got it covered. Welcome everybody online and in the room. My name is Lee Cruz. I'm the chair of the Fairhaven Community Management Team. You're here at the June meeting of the management team. We have house rules. We always like to go through them very quickly. We're going to stay focused, no fault problem solving. We're going to ask people who normally speak a lot, like myself, to kind of back off a little bit, and people who normally don't speak to please step up and be heard. We want to create an open, honest, safe space. Listen with open minds. We want to believe that everyone's intentions are the best. Be action oriented, decide what we want, how we want it, when we want it, and plan for this to happen. We are going to be following the agenda and have a Fairhaven centered collaboration. With that said, I would like to ask the temporary acting secretary to just call the roll of the executive. So that would be the chair, vice chair, secretary, treasurer.
That would be weird.
And so it doesn't list it. She just knows it. So we've already established. Oh, Sarah Miller has walked in. We have Dominic from the Fairhaven Health Clinic. So
I was gonna say, yeah, and Aaron Good also appeared online, so we have hit quorum.
Wonderful. Wow, that's pretty impressive in June. Okay, so from the executive committee, we have the chair and the vice chair and the treasurer. Our two secretaries are absent, excused this evening. Our correspondence secretary is at her sister's graduation, and our reporting secretary, Christina, her husband's father passed away just yesterday. So they are out of state at that. Okay, so we've established quorum. We've done the roll call. Do we have anyone who's here for the very first time? They've never been here before. They haven't been here in a long time. Dawn, can you we're gonna have you present later on, but you can just say who you are and.
Sure. Hi, I'm Dawn Ragsdale. I'm the executive director of the Center for Inclusive Growth here in New Haven, and I'm excited to be here tonight.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Everyone else has been here with us. Is there anyone online who's not been with us ever before or hasn't been here in a long time?
Zelda. Zelda's a new one.
Zelda? Where are you, Zelda?
Hi, I'm here.
Zelda.
Here, I'm gonna try my. Hi, and I'm here with my husband Sammy, and we're Fairhaven residents.
That's new, isn't it?
2.5 years.
Oh, but we have meetings.
So I've been meaning to drop in on these for a while, and so I just thought, oh, here I am.
Welcome. Welcome. Okay,
thank you.
so moving right along, let's do the approval of the May minutes. May I have them? I hope you all got them. I hope you read them. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the May meeting?
Or you just need to call for any objections to them.
Yeah, but I need for someone to make a motion.
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved and by Sarah Miller, and who seconded?
I heard Frankie, I think.
Okay, Frankie seconded. Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have any, before we vote on, before we approve the motion? Any objection, any changes that need to be made? I hear none. So, Mr. Vice Chair, we don't have to vote, right? We just have to.
No, you don't even have to do that calling for motions thing. You just have to ask the assemblage.
My expert in Robert's rules. Thank you very much. So the minutes are approved. Thank you very much. We're going to move on now to the treasurer's report, and that will be made by Patricia. And while she's getting herself into place to do that, I just want to say, last month Patricia was not with us. She had told the executive committee that she wouldn't be here. If anyone has a misunderstanding, that was a well-known and documented absence because she had another responsibility. Just want to say that out loud. And with that, I want to turn it over to Patricia.
Okay, hi everybody. Adam, you have the little spreadsheet there just to show the expenses. We have not spent any money except for a $5.05 Spanish translation fee that comes out every single month. So far the balance is $4,675.56. So that's where we are right now.
Thank you very much for that report. And do we need to approve that, Mr. Vice Chair?
No, I do want to add that we got rid of that charge, so it won't be appearing in future months. If anyone knows of anything that's more accurate, the problem we had is it basically, does automatic closed captions and then automatically translate that. And with the combination of the two, it was worthless. So if anyone knows of anything that's not ungodly expensive, we would love to have this live translated and everything.
And what's behind this is our attempt to try to be as inclusive as possible of meetings. So that's what we're always shooting for. With that said, then we're gonna move on in our agenda from the financial report to the police report. Step forward.
That's it right here.
Yep, that works.
Good evening, everybody.
We'll pick you right up.
Oh, that's nice. Holy.
It's better actually if you sit and you will be able to see yourself right on there. And so everybody can see you. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and pin. Go ahead.
All right, well, good evening again. So the May report in June. Cost of service is about, we're all average about the same, 873. We did have 65 arrests, about the same as last time. 7 robberies. Our robberies were up. We did have a couple of arrests from the robberies and a lot of these was specifically to people knowing each other, so it wasn't random robberies. Aggravated assault, we did have a person shot on 156 Poplar Street a couple weeks ago. Burglaries, we did have 7, which was up a little bit. A lot of them was garages being broken into. Theft from auto, it's still up. 17 we had this month or in the month of May, which is still high. I will say with the theft from autos, we see a lot of video of the perpetrator going through all these cars, looking in the window and stopping when they see any type of object. It could be an empty bag and they will break the window to access it. Unfortunately, we did have one incident where there was a firearm left inside of the car illegally. It was a registered firearm, valid pistol permit. Everything was valid about it, but you can't leave a firearm inside of a car that's not locked separately. So that person goes victimized and then arrested for the firearm. So don't leave a firearm in your vehicle. More vehicle thefts, 7, which is actually, believe it or not, it's kind of low for the city. Firearm discharge, we did have 3 this month of May on 271 Lloyd, 195 Ferry, which was the old smoke shop, but they haven't been operating anymore. That was late at night. And there's a couple weeks ago at Exchange by East Pearl, 58 Exchange Street. Nobody was struck in those incidences though, and no murders. Obviously with the weather, we're getting a lot of people hanging out now. So we've been getting crime suppression, which is an overtime beat, which has been really great for us because the cops are going call to call to call. They get really tied up really quickly. So having that extra beat that really is just for the quality of life and crime suppression helps tremendously. So I did want to highlight an individual, Calvin Burris, being arrested 8 times in the last 2 months, 4 in April, 4 in May. He continues to terrorize Grand and Ferry, Grand and Poplar. He's still out there right now. I just drove by him, but we'll just keep arresting him every time he he does something. I hope one of these, maybe the 20th time court will do something about it. The tires and wheels have been increasing, but not so much in Fairhaven, so we're keeping an eye on it. That's it's always been an issue. And other than that, I'll leave it up for questions.
Any questions from anyone in the room for our district manager? Right here, Rob, go ahead.
Rob, how you doing?
Good to see you. Are we getting any new officers? Is there any school coming out or anything?
So good question. Yes and no. Well, yeah. So we have 8 out on FT training right now as we speak that are finishing up their 4th phase. We have 4 phases. They already finished the academy. They've been in training. They're out with a training officer. We have one in Fairhaven right now. She's finishing up her field training. It's a 12-week program, and they're finishing up. So we're gonna have 8 in the next couple of weeks that are brand new officers, and then that they graduated at the New Haven Academy. Then we'll have 4 or 6. Don't quote me. One of the 2 that they're like 2 weeks behind. They were in a different academy. So in the next month, we'll have an additional 14 officers on the street.
Will we be getting some in our district?
So it looks at it citywide. I gotta look at my staffing numbers compared to everybody else, and we'll look at it. Given that we got 16, I will say yes.
The other question I had was, are we gonna get the traffic unit in our area sometime soon?
We work with traffic and parking a lot.
Not traffic and parking.
Traffic unit, motor, okay, yeah. No, they actually been here a lot. Yep, they've been here a lot. They operate in, there's our motors. They either in the motorcycles or the traffic cars, which is usually the black, either the black Charger or the black pickup truck with the gold, they call it ghost decals.
Yeah.
But they've been in Fairhaven actually pretty frequently in the last 2 weeks specifically.
Good, we need them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sorry.
Any questions from anyone online? Any questions from anyone online? Seeing none, seeing no additional questions in the room, we're gonna move on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
We're now gonna hear from Carmen Mendez, our Livable City Initiative representative. Carmen is online.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. My report for the month of May is I visited a lot of, obviously that's my job, is to visit places in Fairhaven. And unfortunately cite people. I had been working really hard on Ferry Street between Grand and Lombard. There have been some significant changes there. But I have moved to Dover Street because Dover Street is in bad shape. And I have to cite at least 13 houses there that are out of order. There are blocks in New Haven where there's a number of houses that are out of order. So I have to concentrate on those right now. It's summer. People bring out their stuff. It's a problem when they don't know what the rules are for setting out their trash or just keeping the front of their house clean. It's a process. It's constant. But we're doing the best we can. I'm doing the best I can to make sure that people are aware. I'm getting a lot of calls, which is good. So my name has been out there and people are calling me to complain about all sorts of stuff. And I try to deal with it as best as I can. And those things that I can't deal with, I refer them to the people who can. Always feel free to call me at my telephone number. This is my cell, 203-410-6527. I pick up all the time. It's on all the time, 7 days a week. If you have a house or you see something that's messed up, just give me a call. And as I said, I'll either deal with it myself and do, citations, or we'll refer them to the department and the people who can do something about it. Any questions?
Just gonna answer, that's the end of your report. In the room, we have Robbie has a question.
Hi, Carmen, good evening.
Good evening, Robbie. How are you?
Good, thank you. Hey, Carmen, I was just wondering if you have found out any information on that, that thing I texted you, the one on the corner of, Pine and Popular, that building?
Yes, Yes, that building I'm going to a site. The problem is we're moving from the 3rd floor to the 6th floor and they took down our computers. So I haven't had a computer in 2-3 days now. So the move is supposed to be completed by Monday. So I will cite them. I have to find out who the owner is. But as I said, I haven't been able to get on the computer at all because I have none.
Okay, the other
But it's on
question was-
my very important list of things to do. There are a couple of houses like that that I need to deal with in Fairhaven.
Yeah, the other question was, I've been going around, our area, Fairhaven, and I noticed in a lot of the yards is very bad. The yards are very bad. I don't know if you've been, going through the properties, like the properties and the yards and stuff like that, cause, it's real bad, it's real bad. I haven't seen it this bad in many years, and I've been here for pretty much all my life, but, Fairhaven looks.
Yeah, it
terrible.
always gets bad at this time of year. It's constant. It's a constant. Sometimes I'm not allowed on private property. I can't walk on private property. And I always need to take pictures. That's just what legal has us do. We have to prove that we went there, physically viewed it, and took pictures. A lot of times the house in the front, not many times, but the house in the front looks good, but the backyard is messed up. And I can't see that, and I can't get onto the private property. So unless you get a picture for me somehow that you can send to me, there's no way that I can write a notice of violation because I have not personally seen it.
Yeah, a lot
But
of-
if the yard if you can see it, sometimes the neighbors are very good and they'll let me go on their property, and that's fine. I've had that happen, and I'll go on the property, on the neighbor's property and take pictures, and I'm able to cite them that way. But I know I physically have to see it. If you have any particular addresses like the 379, 369, 371 property, let me know, because that's very visible.
Okay, thank you, Carmen.
You're
Another
welcome,
question?
Robbie.
Okay, anyone online have a question? I see Alder Frank Prudente, has a question, and then I'll come back to you. Frank, please.
Sure.
Kind of both for Carmen and Robbie. Are we talking about the house that's abandoned on the corner of Pine and Poplar with the garage in the
Yes.
back, Robbie?
Yes.
Well, that predates my term, so I can't understand why it hasn't been fined out of existence. Like that garage had people living in it, is piles of garbage constantly. I understand it's private property, but like I've been complaining about that one since way before I ran for alder.
Yes.
Since that last family moved out, there has been trash strewn all over that property. And it's been almost 3 years now since that last family moved out of that house. So what do we need to do?
I'm sorry, Frank. Yeah, there was a time when see, this is the problem. Sometimes they have the garage open, sometimes they don't. Sometimes that garbage is hiding. It's not hiding anymore. I have plenty of pictures now and video, so that's not a problem. Now it's just a matter of citing them. But that there were actually people living there or squatting there. We have no idea what's going on with that property, but it's getting addressed.
We're beginning to get into details. It's been, please note it, and then talk directly so that we don't, people live there, people go by there. Let's just keep it to, it's been noted, and if you would please deal with it and report back to us when there's something to report, and please let.
Sure. Sure.
There's a question in the room.
Alder already said, I think, 176 fine. That's the problem.
Okay, so Carmen, you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, so.
No, I
again,
didn't hear the address. Say it again.
176
Fine.
Pine Street. Okay,
176 Pine Street. Okay. I'll be able to go out next week. As I said, we're moving, so I can't go out,
okay. Well, when you do, then just please document and report back to us any progress. Any other questions in the room? Seeing none, Any other questions online? Frank, your hand is still up, but if you can put it down, or Adam maybe can put it down for you if you don't know how to do that.
And then my
Okay,
hand's
so-
up. I just wanted to add on to the, I think we've lost Carmen, but I did read recently that they're, they've been changing all the regulations, like they increased the fines and everything like that. They're currently working to close a loophole in that you have to send registered, like certified mail to some of these addresses to get it, be official. And if you just never sign for your certified mail, you can never get in trouble. So they're working to close that now, as far as I read recently.
Well, that's a helpful piece of information, so please know that the ordinances are being worked on, and if, either, I think we only have 2 alders with us, if either of the alders has any update on that.
Yes.
Please share that.
If you don't mind my interrupting for a second, what we're trying to do now is to basically say, we made all the attempts to get in touch with you. And even if the letters come back, at least we can prove due diligence, and we can start finding them without having, they can't use the excuse any longer that they didn't receive notice. As long as we can prove that we made every attempt to contact you, then we can find you now.
Excellent, that's progress, thank you very much.
That's a big progress, yes, that's a big deal.
Thank you. Okay, I don't see any other questions online. I don't see any questions in the room, so we're gonna move on. Thank you very much, Carmen, appreciate it.
You're welcome, everyone. Have a good evening.
Yeah, have a good evening. So for those of you that have a copy of the agenda, I don't know if there are any copies left over there, but we do have the next item on the agenda is a standing item. Just want to remind people that every quarter, once a quarter, every 3 months, we have Jaywan Carter come in and give us an update from the Civilian Review Board. It is not that time, but we want to acknowledge it because if you've had any issue revolving around the police, Jaywan is our representative. His email is on every agenda. As, by the way, is, I should have mentioned before, the contact information for Sergeant, the contact information also for Carmen. So speaking of having no excuses, if you see something you don't like, you don't understand, if it's a police matter with the sergeant, if there's an issue with the police, it's Jaywan. If it's a quality of life issue, it's Carmen. So you have the opportunity, reach out to them in between meetings. I will remind you that when you see a cell phone number on here, we ask that you please text the person, tell them you'd like to talk to them so that they're going about doing their job. They're not interrupted in doing that, and then they will coordinate with you to then have the necessary conversation. Any questions about that? Okay. I do want to stop the agenda just for a second and acknowledge Maria Alejandra. Just say hello, Maria Alejandra. Maria Alejandra is the new staff person for Grand Avenue Special Services District. Our businesses on Grand Avenue and throughout Fairhaven. Alejandra, do you want to say hello?
Yes, hi everybody. My name is Maria Alejandra Hall. I am the district manager from Fairhaven, New Haven, Fairhaven Grand Avenue for the old customers. Stay here for whatever you need.
And I would just point out to you, Don, that your staff, she's the person to talk to.
Okay.
The two of you should talk at some point.
What's your last name?
I'm sorry? Hawk.
Hawke.
WK.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. We have an acting secretary because of reasons that were explained before. Okay. Next point on the agenda is economic development, and we have had a position for economic development on our agenda now for a few years. Economic development lost a couple of staff people rather short notice. Now they're beginning to fill those positions again. So we're gonna ask our alders to ask economic development to go back to the habit of having someone from economic development come and just report to us. They don't have to be here every month, although that would be nice. Just give us an update on what economic development is thinking and doing as it relates to Fairhaven. So that's why that agenda item is there. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our vision and action items. And I'm gonna skip right through these to the next point on the agenda, and that is Tracy Kulik from Strategic Plan for New Haven Health Department for a presentation. Tracy, are you with us?
She is not, but I am. My name is Marcos Alcorn. I am with Kulik Strategic Advisors. We are the consulting firm that's been hired by the New Haven Health Department to develop their 2026-2030 strategic plan. And so, first of all, thank you for having us on. The big thing that we want to learn from you and hear directly from you residents is what are the strengths that you see that the health department has for you residents? And I don't know if anyone just jumps in or if there is a process for anyone that raises their hand, how we want to deal with the answers. You can also type them in and I can note them down.
So the question is, what do people notice about the health department that they're doing?
What are the strengths of the health department that, you know, bring value to individuals staying healthy in the city of New Haven?
I know this is rather unexpected, folks, but does anyone online or anyone in the room have anything that they want to mention? This really does catch people off guard. We didn't know there would be a survey.
So,
I was gonna say,
go ahead.
I'm not aware of what the health department does. Like, do you have like a besides, you know, like that, like letting a restaurant serve food or not? Is there something that, I mean, congrats. I mean, I guess that's good that I'm not getting poisoned at restaurants, but I don't know what else might be happening.
Well, and you bring a really good point. One of the things that we've heard from other residents, and just to provide some context, we've done focus groups in areas of the community, and this has been some of the exact same responses of, we really don't know what the health department does. Which, you know, again, that's you know, the other side of the question that was going to be is like, what is the weaknesses? Is that people don't know what the health department does. So they do STI testing, they do vaccines, they do the environmental health, which takes care of restaurants. During the summer months, they test the water at the beaches, they test the water at swimming pools throughout the city and public areas. They do it's enrollment for, you know, services, for medical services. And so those are things, again, that people just don't know what the health department does, which is a barrier to just accessing services, and it's a weakness that, you know, they do need to do kind of like a better job at being able to market themselves out to the community. So thank you for that. I will get all of you just a listing, a more kind of concrete listing, if that would help, of, you know, the services and the times available that services are offered by the health department. If that's something that would help.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Let the health department know that just like every other management team around the city, we meet every month and there's an opportunity to come in. They don't necessarily have to come in every month, but they could come in, let people know what they're doing. I know during COVID, a lot of information was shared with us. I also happen to know that the health department helped to fund the artwork that we put up on the bus stops that reminded people to mask up. We did that as a community. The health department helped us with that. But it would be great to have a periodic reporting on what they're doing, because the health department is so important and people don't realize all the stuff that's going on in the background. Comment or question right here, Sarah?
I think the vaccines, we've utilized the vaccines, flu shots in particular, COVID, I think we've also gotten there. But I actually think the comms that come out of the health department are very strong.
The comms.
The communications are very strong. They're just not widely disseminated enough.
Right. And we can help with disseminating information because it can be presented here to typically we get about 50 people, 40 to 50 people are our management team meetings. Plus we have 700 people on our mailing list. So we'd be happy to share that information if the health department shares it with us.
So, and I do know that I believe that they also have that available in Spanish. And so I will definitely make sure that Maritza, the health director, is aware of this meetings, and she is, because they're the ones who asked for this. But I will make sure that she's fully aware of the fact that you're willing to disseminate all this information and pass it along.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Is there anything in particular that, outside of bigger branding and marketing, is there anything, a specific barrier that anyone faces when trying to access any services? Other than the first point, not knowing really what the services are. Go ahead, Liz.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an intro of myself momentarily, but my question would be, is there a way of increased access to sharps disposal? I do environmental cleanups often, and that is the number one culprit I come up with is sharps, whether they be capped or not. And we don't really have a efficient way of storing and disposing of them as an organization. Besides just popping them in a bottle, capping it, and throwing it in whatever refuse we're picking up at that particular environmental cleanup.
I don't have an answer for that, but I will get you an answer.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
So maybe people who don't know what sharps are. So these are needles and other medical things that might have contamination, just for people to know what Liz is talking about. Marcos, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just answering Liz that I don't have an answer for her particular question, but I will bring this up to the health department and get an answer back to you through this group. So I'll make sure to do that, Liz. Anything else? Any other barrier? Any other thing that issue that you would like the health department to try to address?
Marcos, I'm not seeing it. Oh, I see Marianne has raised her hand. Marianne, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that Sally and I have made appointments at the health department to get our COVID shots and other shots that we had to get. It was very efficient. We got there, they took us in right away. They gave us the shots. It was much better than going to my doctor's office.
Oh, that's great to hear. Thank you for sharing that. I'll also share that success story with the health department. Thank you for that.
Yes, great point.
Yeah.
Does the health department play in our dealing with our homeless encampments? We've got a good one going on Middletown Avenues, which seems to be getting bigger. Curious about that.
Great. So the question is, what does the health department could do regarding homeless people in our community?
I don't particularly know exactly what are their mandates regarding homeless in campus, but I will get you an answer on that. And see if there's any, and if the health department is unable or not doing anything, I will try to get you and see who can they kind of refer you to as a possible avenue of asking that question and getting an answer on that.
So I'll remind people, Marcos does not work for the health department. He is a consultant for them, and he's trying to capture what do we know and what don't we know. And that's something we don't know about. So that's something they could come and let us know about. Any other questions, either in the room or online? I don't see any.
Liz,
Okay.
Go ahead. Liz online has her question.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's something that I don't know. I don't know if anybody else does, but just wondering what the Department of Health is doing to address people with addictions, alcoholism, drug addiction, because we have not just in Fairhaven, but in other neighborhoods throughout the city, but particularly in Fairhaven, we have a group of individuals year round. that congregate in a certain area that have serious issues with alcoholism as well as drug addiction. So I'm just curious as to if you have that information or if it's something that you have to get back to us on.
It will be something I have to get back to you, but I do know that the health department itself doesn't provide any recovery services. I think what they would do is just provide any referrals or try to provide you a list of resources as to individuals, where individuals can go. But if there is something, I will bring that back to you. As far as what are they doing, particularly around addiction, alcoholism, and drugs. But I do know that they do make referrals and they do provide some of those resources as to where people can go. But I don't think they themselves provide that service.
So again, if you could get this information to them and then have them come to us, with this information, that would be great. Other question? Oh, in the back, yes?
Oh, I understand the health department's gonna be doing inspections and certifications of the smoke shops. Do you know when that's gonna start?
I do not, but I do know that is something that's come up during their discussion with their environmental health people. But I will email the environmental health director and get you a specific answer as to when those will start. I was under the impression that those actually have already started, but I will confirm that.
Then the recurring theme really seems to be, we just need to know more. There's a lot that's going on that we don't know about.
Right.
Any questions or comments in the room? Okay. Marcos, we've run out of time for this segment, but we appreciate you being here and we appreciate you getting our questions and concerns back to the health department.
I will do that, and thank you for having me.
I will just make note for people to know, Maritza Bond, our city health director, born and raised in Fairhaven. Fairhaven, she went to Wilbercross High School, so we have a local person taking care of our health in our city. Okay, with that said, we're gonna move on to the agenda. Again, thank you very much, Marcos. Next point on the agenda, Dawn. You're sitting perfectly, that you can stay right there or you can move either one.
I think it'd be hard for people to hear you over
People
here.
can see it from both sides.
Everyone. Lee, I had a presentation, or I don't have to show it if you don't have it. I can talk.
Adam is momentarily bringing up your presentation.
Okie dokie.
So I'm not even gonna pick it because there's gonna be, I'm gonna just close this for a moment.
What would it come from?
Would it come from you?
You know, it was like titled. I'm looking.
It was a link in the email that I sent. Somebody responded today and said this is perfect, but also if you can't find it, it's okay.
I got no, yeah, I got it. One second.
Okay.
Adam is a whiz, but at doing this, but he has to find it first. There you go.
All right, so just tell me when you want to go to the next slide.
Okay, I will. So good evening, everybody. I'm Dawn Weeks Ragsdale. I'm the Executive Director at the Center for Inclusive Growth here in New Haven, and appreciate the opportunity just to come and really give you an introduction to the center, what we're about and what we're trying to do. So just raise a hand if you've heard of the Center for Inclusive Growth. The Center for Inclusive Growth. Okay, so not many people, which is okay. We got 2 in the room and I can't tell online, but you really probably haven't heard about us because we're a brand new organization. So in 2021, the funding for the center was announced as as part of Yale's increased commitment to the city of New Haven. I was hired in 2024 to create the center. So sometimes people have heard about it and they think it's been running for a while, but it's really brand new. So in the past year, I have built the center, I've hired staff, and this year you'll start to see programming coming out of the center. We can go to the next slide. So really quickly, because it's the Center for Inclusive Growth, and sometimes people are like, what the heck is inclusive growth? And now with some of the buzz federally, like DEI, the I in DEI is inclusive, and so people are just wondering what that is. And so we've adopted the United Nations Development Program definition of inclusive growth. I'm not gonna read that, but basically it's just saying that we believe everyone should have a chance for economic opportunity, regardless of background, religion, affiliations, political affiliations, that everybody should have a chance. Next slide. So the Center for Inclusive Growth, our mandate is to help develop solutions and programming in the community that will provide increased economic opportunities, especially for neighborhoods and communities that have been left out of those opportunities in the past. And so we vision a New Haven where everyone would have equal access to those opportunities. Next slide. Our core values, really pretty straightforward. Equity, everybody should have a chance. We want to do this work collaboratively, so we won't be coming into neighborhoods just deciding what we think should happen. We'll be working collaboratively with the community to develop solutions. Innovation, I think people have been trying to tackle these challenges the same way for many, many years, like hundreds of years. And it hasn't always been as effective as we would hope. So the hope is to come up with some new, really innovative solutions. And then sustainability, we want to make sure that we're developing solutions that last and that are not harming the city or the environment. Next slide. So what we do, we basically do these 5 things. We bring people together, we convene people to tackle these issues and to try to come up with solutions. We support community-led initiatives. So one of the things that we've heard a lot of is that people in the communities have solutions for some of the issues that are happening. But when they try to launch these solutions, they're under-resourced and under-supported. And so we're looking at how can we better foster community-led initiatives. We want to share knowledge. There are so many amazing things happening in New Haven that often people just don't know about. We just had an example of that with the health department, people not really knowing or understanding what is available. And so we see ourselves as an amplifier of the things that are happening in the community. Part of our role is to connect New Haven, the New Haven community to Yale. So right now our funding, all of our funding does come from Yale. We're an independent nonprofit. So we're a standalone entity, but we're here to help Yale envision creative ways to deploy resources into the community, but also on the community side, if we're developing solutions, how can we tap into Yale resources in order to help us be successful with the things we're trying to create? And then the last one and the most important one is to develop solutions that would provide economic opportunity for folks in the community. So we can go to the next slide. Our areas of focus, any programming that we develop will come under these 5 areas. So strengthening the local economy, so that's entrepreneurship, small business, financial access and education. How can we help people manage what they have better or more effectively and efficiently? Innovation and digital inclusion. So technology is like changing and coming very rapidly. We don't want anybody to be left behind there. We want to make sure that people are positioned to take advantage of economic opportunities that are coming through technology, sustainable development, and economic mobility. So we just want to help people to be able to increase their salaries and move up the ladder economically. Next slide. I don't know if I have time. This is like 3 minutes, Lee. Do I have time to show this?
If that's the end, then that's the end.
No, okay, so let's skip, okay, next slide. We'll just move right on past this. So part of what we've been doing is we really want to engage the community in the work that we're doing. In coming into this role, cities that are serious about inclusive growth have a plan for inclusive growth, like a written inclusive growth plan that lays out what the community and the key stakeholders in the city government have decided is most important in that city around inclusive growth. And so we're starting a process to develop an inclusive growth plan for the city of New Haven. Our first step of that was a convening that we held on February 20th of this year. We had about 140 of community leaders in the room getting their input and their ideas around what inclusive growth looked like for them. Next slide. Actually, you can go next slide. Next slide. Sorry. Okay, and so we're in this process now. So our methodology for how we're gonna put this plan together is one, there have been many, many community convenings, people talking and interviewing the community to find out what each community in New Haven, the challenges, the barriers, and what they would like to see change. And there's been a ton of reports produced. So we don't want to ignore all that history and all those, all that good information that's already been put out there. So we're using the existing data and reports. The second piece is that we had that convening in February, using the information we gained there. And the thing I'm really here to talk to you about today is our all-in neighborhood convening series. So we're having convenings in each neighborhood and gathering information from the communities. And then the fourth piece is these sector-specific think tanks, and these will be virtual and they'll happen in the late fall. And so there'll be a deep dive on education, deep dive on small business and entrepreneurship, and you'll be able to attend virtually if any of these topics that you're super passionate about and you want to have input in the inclusive growth plan for the city of New Haven, then you should attend those. But we're going to use the information collected in all these 4 phases to write the inclusive growth plan for the city of New Haven, and then we'll be back around sharing the draft with you, getting your input before we finalize the plan. And so you can go to the next slide. So here is this community conversation series that we're doing. We had the Dixwell and excuse the spelling, I see a typo there, but we had the Dixwell New Hallville meeting on May 12th. We did web neighborhoods on May 21st. Actually, right now, as we speak, the Westville community conversation is happening. And then next week, we'll have a conversation in the Hill. In the fall, we'll do the remaining New Haven neighborhoods. And we hope to come to have a conversation here in Fairhaven. And we're here today just to give you this, to let you know who we are and what we're trying to do. And then hopefully to get your partnership in promoting the meeting, to make sure that we get a really good turnout and that we really can hear from as many people in the community as possible about what they want to see in terms of economic opportunities in New Haven. And so, yeah, so we're not asking you to make that decision today, but I'm here to just talk to you and give you the information. We'll be scheduling the meeting in the fall, hopefully with your help, so that we don't overstep any other things that are happening in the community. And then hopefully engaging with you, and you're helping us to understand who the other key partners and community partners we should be bringing to the table to promote the conversation series.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that presentation. Any questions either in the room or up? Question right in the front.
Just never heard of you, just wondered how you're promoting yourself so that everyone knows you exist and what you do.
Yeah, well, right now, I think the focus has been on actually just building the center. I inherited a concept and a budget. So I think, you know, from setting up the infrastructure of the system, but of the center. But I've had our communications manager, and so we will be actually hearing from us through social media and through news stories and all the different channels that we can use to connect with the community.
Good, great.
Yeah.
Where are you located? You mentioned the center.
Yeah, we're located at 65 Audubon Street.
Oh.
So right across from the Community Foundation.
Any questions online? I see a raised hand, Adam.
So I understand that you would like to be able to say that the Fairhaven Community Management Team generally supports what you're doing and put our, logo on your posters and stuff like that. Is that kind of what you're asking from us?
Oh, yes, but beyond just the logo, we really would want your participation. And you mentioned a list of 700 people that maybe you could share the meeting with. We want true partnership in promoting and getting the word out about the community conversation.
Well, that starts with a process that Adam will explain.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it clear because I will be bringing, right now, I'm going to bring this as a vote to all of our voting members. It's a pretty simple one that is just, let me share again. Just the question of, should we say that we support the Center for Inclusive Growth? So as always, you have until Sunday at midnight if you want to do further research or what have you, or if you want to stick around after the meeting and talk with, I don't know, taking away your evening, Dawn. Sorry. But if you want to ask Dawn more questions, this vote is here. You'll have till then. And just the simple question is, do we want to say, yes, we as an organization or a group officially support this other organization? So
this is only for voting members. If you have any doubt about when being a voting member, we can verify that. You have to have attended 5 of the last 12 meetings to be a voting member. If you're online, you're going to get a link. Even if you're in the room, you're going to get a link. But if you are not a computer person, you can come up and let the recording secretary this evening just know what your vote is, and then we'll add that to the tally. And if the majority of voting members approve, then we will write a letter of support. We will do all the things you've asked, but then we will have an official documentation that on this date we voted. You have this today and through Sunday at midnight to vote.
Can I use the attendance? cards?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Okay, any other questions online? Just gonna ask folks to really consider supporting vote. Sarah?
I just want to appreciate Don's role. It's not an easy thing to try to bring Yale and New Haven together and start something new. So I really appreciate all the work you've been doing. I also just want to say, I feel like it always has to be said that we are really good at writing plans in New Haven. We're not very good at doing anything with them.
Yeah.
And so I'm just wondering if you've gotten to that point yet of thinking about what we're going to do with this plan, or if that's to be determined.
Yeah, no, actually, how we're thinking about it, because we've talked to the city of New Haven, who's agreed to adopt this plan officially as the official inclusive growth plan for the city. We think the community, all the stakeholders will work together to implement the plan, but that the center will be that organization that holds us accountable to actually executing on it. And so we do have a plan to have an annual event where we're updating people, where are we according to the plan, and looking at holes and if we need to tweak or go in different directions. And so we really think that is a role the center can play, is that organization that is the one saying, hey, remember this plan? We said we were gonna do these things, and holding people accountable.
In the back, a question?
2 questions. Do you have a website we can look at?
We do. It's IG, like inclusivegrowthnewhaven.org.
Okay. And are you fully funded by Yale, or does the city partially fund you, or where do you get your funding from?
At the moment, we are fully funded by Yale, and then so it's part of my role to figure out how to diversify that funding. And, in a perfect world, I think it'd be amazing to be, pretty, more independent. And so I think, so that's part of my role, is to diversify our funding. Mm-hmm.
Great questions. Any other questions online before we finish this segment? I don't see any. Dawn, thank you very much for coming out in person to be with us, and we will be back in touch with you. Okay, moving the agenda right along. The next presenter is Kurt from the library to tell us what's happening here and what's coming up. Kurt?
Hello, everyone. This is our 3rd event in this in the room today. We started off with a city press conference about upcoming CPR classes that are going to be held around the city at library locations. When city Yale New Haven Health, the fire department, and AMR were here, we heard that even as a bystander, someone who might be in a cardiac situation, their chances of survival can triple if a bystander knows and can carry out CPR. So these we'll have flyers about this. They're free and they'll be coming up. But please consider taking a CPR class. You could be a hero sometime in the future. Our second event that took place here just before this event was our kickoff party for summer reading. We had Riverside Reptiles here. I think all the reptiles are gone. You guys probably could check to see if there's any snakes left in the room. But in all seriousness, We have the kickoff party, but you can sign up anytime. We have them for kids, teens, and adults. And if you take part, you may win a prize in each category. If you're already reading or you need some inspiration to read, let us know, because if you take part, like I say, you could be a prize winner. Lastly, we here in Fairhaven are joining a program that a couple of the other libraries in town have been doing, and it's called Ready for the Grade. And Ready for the Grade is a program designed to stop the summer slide for reading. And so it's for kids kindergarten through third grade. The program is free. It consists of a combination of classroom. The room we're working out of right now tonight will be a classroom for students for Ready for the Grade. But there's also one-on-one attention from the teachers who will be administering the program. So if you know anyone who has kids of that age that you want to keep up their skills for the summer with more intensive training, let us know. We also have slots open for the teachers who will be teaching it. If you know a teacher who's looking for a nice summer gig, let us know, because we're also recruiting the teachers. Please help us spread the word on, or have someone you know help sign up with us to take part in Ready for the Grade. And like I say, the summer reading program, and more to see about the upcoming CPR classes this summer and fall around the city. Thanks.
Thank you, Kirk. Any questions, either in the room or online for Kirk regarding anything going on at the library?
What was that second thing? The kickoff for what?
The kickoff to
summer reading.
Summer reading.
Okay.
Yeah, the program is called Ready for the Grade.
No, the one before.
Oh, summer reading. Okay.
Yeah, two separate things. Both focused on reading, but Ready for the Grade is for kids who need extra instruction. I should also say that there's an engagement part of this where we'll have some programming, some fun things that go on during the summer for the students. It's not just reading. There'll be some fun activities that they'll have during the course of the program. The summer reading program is for all ages. You're just going to come get a log, keep track of your reading, and if you turn it in, you may be eligible for a prize in each of the 3 categories.
Thank you very much, Kirk. Sure. I don't see any questions online. No one's raised their hand. I don't see any questions in the room. So we're gonna move on, okay? So I'm gonna take Chairman's prerogative and move the agenda around a little bit, because I'd like to leave for last things that are most relevant to members of the team, and just Liz Gant from Save the Sound, so she can make her announcement. But there are a couple of items we want to talk about as members that anyone can stay for, but it's mostly relevant for members. So Liz, with that, let me turn it over to you and have you make your announcement.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm Liz Gant from Save the Sound. I will make this quick because I am splitting my attention between you lovely folks and my very rambunctious toddler, as I'm sure many of you have seen him pop in occasionally. I would love to talk to you all today about our residential rain garden program. We're in the 2nd season of this program. And we're looking to get homeowners or renters, as long as you know your landlord and have a good relationship with them, interested about having a rain garden on their property. We're looking for an additional probably 10 to 12 properties to do these installations at. They are completely free. And Save the Sound comes out, does the work for you. You get a whole bunch of lovely native plants put in your yard. And we work really closely with the folks who will be maintaining it, or the property owners, to select the plants, because of course You all are the ones who have to look at the plants every day. I don't have to. And it's a really, really great project. A little on the background of why we're doing it is one of the greatest pollutants in our waterways is non-point source pollution, which is pollutants that don't have an identifiable source. So they can come from your cars, your rooftops, any sort of chemicals that wash off of impermeable surfaces like sidewalks or driveways and end up in our sewer system and then by extension Long Island Sound. So these installations help to capture that pollution closer to where it falls and prevents it from ending up in our waterways. So if anyone is interested in this amazing project, again, free with a capital FREE, let me know. I'm gonna post in the chat the flyer that has our QR code, but you can also send me an email at agant@savethesound.org, and I'm gonna put that in the chat as well. I can open it quickly for any questions if there are any, but I also don't want to take up any more of your time. But thank you guys.
Well, thank you. This is just an announcement. So, did you have something to clarify, Adam?
Oh, I just wanted to add that if anyone wants to see what it looks like the next year, my house is on the corner of Lombard and Atwater. I have done nothing to this rain garden. It looks amazing still. So,
yeah, they are really beautiful. Okay, thank you. So you have an endorsement. Okay, great. Thank you for that information. We'll also be sharing this obviously in our minutes, and so feel free to go there and get the information and then get in contact with Liz if you are interested. Thank you very much. Okay, so
Mark has a question real quick. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, he's muted, Mark.
Unmute yourself.
Yes, I was trying to unmute. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, someone came to my residence last year about this, and I did fill out the form, but no one got back to me. So I was kind of don't want to blindside you like that, but that's what happened to me. They came by and they talked to me about it, and I said, yeah, I might consider this. And then I came in and filled out a form and sent my information in, but I never heard anything from anybody. So I was trying to concerned as to what actually happened.
Yeah, so it depends on where your property was located. Because we did select properties based on where in the neighborhood it is with relevance to the combined sewer overflow. So I suspect that if for any reason you're not within the CSO, which is there are a few spots within New Haven that aren't, that it may have fallen lower on the list and you just haven't been reached out to yet. If you want, you're welcome to send me a DM with what your address is, and I can look it up on the list and see if I can figure out the reason why, and I can just send you an email and let you know.
Okay, I will respond. It's going to be in this chat, correct?
Awesome. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I will reach out to you.
I'm sorry, Mark, her email, this is a direct matter, so why don't you go ahead and write to her email, which is right at the bottom of the chat right now. Agant.
I see it there. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you both. Okay, folks, we do have 2 items left on the agenda. The last one being the reports from alders, and we do have reports from alders, and there are alders who take the time to let us know either in person or in writing, so I ask that you please stick around for that. But the next item on the agenda I want to talk about is executive actions. These are actions that have been taken by the executive committee in between meetings. We want you to be aware of them. And I do want to recognize that both of our secretaries are not here tonight, but we do have 3 out of the 5 members of the executive team. Myself as chair, Adam as vice chair, and Patricia is also still with us right there. She is our treasurer. So couple of things we want you to know about, and we want to get your feedback on these things, but the goal tonight is to frame these things. It is not to get into them in detail. So item number 1 is Last month, we had a meeting where a presentation was made and there was controversy about the presentation. And that resulted in a discussion and a back and forth that went way beyond what it should have in terms of the back and forth. And what I mean by way beyond that is way beyond what has been happening in the last few years. And it occurred to us on the executive team that we don't have a process. Presentations are gonna be made and people are gonna disagree, have an opinion, have a personal experience. We would like to come up with a process that balances the fact that a presenter is a presenter. They're here to share information with us. They're not here to debate. And we as residents are here to get information, and we are 100% entitled to our opinion, never to our own facts, but definitely to our opinion. But we also want to recognize that there's limited time. So we have not decided anything. We want to come up with a process. So what we'd like for you to do is over the course of the next 3 weeks, anytime that you have time, we would love to hear from you. Ideally, the best thing would be if you would write your thoughts and send them to the Fairhaven Community Management Team email, which simply is fairhavencmt@gmail.com. All of us have access. We will all get that information. We will meet the last Thursday of the month as we do. We will discuss, we will come up with a proposal. That proposal is not the law. That proposal will then be brought to you for discussion at the next meeting so that we establish a process so that we can balance presenter, audience, information, sharing, and exchange. And that will hopefully help us with that process. Are there any questions about what I've just explained, what the process is, or why we feel a need to do this? Any questions? Any questions online from anyone?
I just want to throw in that, yeah, we're really looking forward to any suggestions you have. Please email us at fairhavencmt@gmail.com. I've been mentioning in the chat as well that, you know, this is an issue. We want to know, you know, how should we balance the kind of audience speaker, you know, roles and timing and all that. Also, if you have ideas on Spanish translation or if you have ideas on camera management, I've gotten some response on tonight's camera, but we're always looking for something ideal.
Yeah, that's my second point.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was definitely gonna talk about that. The in-between one about the translation, yeah, we really wanted to try to see if we could have, you know, that subscript that, you know, in Spanish, so people who are limited in their English. But what we found is that with speakers, with not speakers, but with electronic equipment, the further you go out, it tries to imagine what you're saying and it comes up with gobbledygook. And I know, because I'm fluent in Spanish, it was not really a translation. So that's why we stopped it until we can figure something out. So the second point that Adam just got into is, you may have noticed last month, we had a different configuration of how we set the room up with different equipment. We tried that, we got feedback that people didn't like that. Now we're trying a different configuration. The goal here is not, again, to just say, this is the way it's gonna be. It's to figure out a way that we can be more inclusive. As you all know, the way we have traditionally set the room up, it makes it a challenge for the speaker. Here, all I'm trying to do, I'm not trying to defend, I'm trying to frame the reason why we're asking for this. So the speaker who usually would stand or sit over there would then have to go back and forth, kind of looking at people in the room and then looking at people, where do I look? I look at the camera. So we're trying different things. This is a different configuration with a different piece of equipment that we have access to from the library. The library is going to buy one of these for every library. This is the one from downtown. It's called the OWL. And it does pick up from all around the room, as well as you saw all the different camera angles, but we don't know this to be the solution. Again, if you would go to fairhavencmt@gmail.com and give us your thoughts and feedback, what your priorities are in terms of what you want to see. And I'm looking at you, but I know that that camera's looking at me and showing my face to the people over there. So I don't have to go back and forth between them, even though habitually I do it because that's the way it's always been. Again, any clarifying questions about what we're asking people to do here or online? Okay, so those are the two things. Now, having said that, we know that not everybody's comfortable with email. Not everybody uses email or even text. So if you know one of us and you want to reach out to anyone on the executive, we'll take information, we'll take feedback from you that way. The reason why we're asking you to write is because then that way it really helps us with clarity and we can put all those pieces of information together. So if you have any access to email or even to our text, we would prefer that. But if you don't, then please reach out to us. We do want to hear from all the members and try to make these meetings as inclusive as possible and as welcoming to as many people as possible. Those of you that are in the room, you know that sometimes it's a little bit hard to see things because it's a little bit dark, but that's because we want you to be able to see the screen, we want you to be able to see the people who are online. So we're making all sorts of compromises. There's no perfect solution. There's only something that would be better, and we're gonna try to make it as better for as many people as we can. That's the goal. Thank you very much for allowing me. That concludes, unless Adam, if I missed anything, or Patricia. Okay, I don't see any other feedback. So just remind people, again, we have one vote. It's whether or not we're going to officially approve supporting inclusive, the inclusive growth, New Haven work. That's just so that our logo can go on their stuff, but still no matter what happens, we're still gonna be having reports because this is stuff that's happening in New Haven that affects us. We want that to be known by members. With that said, I'm gonna go through the list of alders and give each alder that's present an opportunity to be with us, just like the police, LCI, and whoever else. The phone numbers and email of every alder that represents Fairhaven is on here. If your alder isn't coming, or even if they are, you want to engage your alder, write to them, text them, call them. All the information is right on every agenda that you get. That said, we know Ellen Cupo is not here. Carolyn Candy Smith is not here, but she did send a report. It only has
Yes, she
2 points.
did. So she is currently at the City Hall for City Services and Environmental Policy Committee meeting. So she wants everyone here to know that the Mayor's Summer Youth Guide exists. Are you ready for summer? Check out the 2025 Mayor's Youth Summer Guide. In this guide, the city has compiled many free and low-cost summer activities in one place, including events and programs organized by the City of New Haven's Youth and Recreation Departments, other city departments, and nonprofit organizations. You can read about the full guide in the link I am sending it out in chat now, or getting your email after the meeting with the minutes and everything. The other part is boards and commissions. The City of New Haven has over 40 boards and commissions that cover a range of important issues from parks to supporting our youth. They are a great way to get involved. You can learn more and apply at the link that I'm about to copy and put into chat. So if you want to join any of the boards, 40 boards or commissions throughout the City of New Haven, there's your information, and that'll be in the email as well.
Thank you very much for that concise report. Alder Anna Festa is not with us. Alder Sarah Miller. Yeah, wherever you can be seen and heard from anywhere, it will pick you up. Wherever you sit or stand.
So I did text Carlos Izaguirre from, good evening, everyone, first of all, from Economic Development since he didn't show up to give his report. So I do have some reports from them that I will start with. One is that, traffic, the parking department and other city departments are working with Fairhaven Community Healthcare on a smooth opening next week, Wednesday, correct?
Ribbon cutting.
Ribbon cutting, Wednesday,
the 11th.
Wednesday the 11th at what time?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock?
Yeah.
Are we all welcome? We are now.
Yeah.
Okay, we are now.
And if you're not planning to go, avoid Grand Avenue.
Avoid Grand
because
Avenue,
there will
because
be
it's
a lot of cars.
it's gonna be a big to-do.
What is it, Doug? What is it?
It's the ribbon cutting for the new building, which looks beautiful, like
Amazing.
really, really beautiful, so, good job.
Applications starting on the 23rd.
Okay, great. Do you have any special guests you can preview for us, or what's for the ribbon cutting? Okay, okay.
Show up.
So, go and you will be surprised. The other update is that the Grand Avenue Townhomes project is progressing. Those are the brownstone or the, I don't know if they're brownstones, but the brick buildings that are to the left of Fairhaven Community Health Center, if you're looking at it. They have a chain link fence around them now, and they're being redeveloped as housing by LCI. So that's progressing. The general contractor was selected. The River Street mixed use RFQ developer selections in the final stages. This is for, to redevelop a section of River Street, so that's progressing. And then the Grand Avenue Challenge project, a lot of people here were at the meeting we held at Fame School to look at the initial designs for the redo of Grand Avenue. So all of that feedback has been taken back by the engineering department, and they're working on a new round of plans. So that's the latest on that. Any questions about any of that?
Any questions online?
The River Street, that's that business on the 2 acres down by the river?
River Street is down by the Ferry Street Bridge.
The area of the River Street.
What
Where
about it?
that-
Oh, which
that
part of it?
That 2 acres.
I believe
Oh,
so.
property.
I believe so. Yeah, I actually don't know which property he's talking about, but I believe it's that one.
All right.
The city's been working very hard. That's the largest single property in Fairhaven. It's 8 acres. And
No,
it's,
this wasn't 8, it was 2. Okay,
Okay, I don't know which one it is,
Well,
but we can
well,
get info for next time with more detail. Yeah,
What time is it coming again?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
And just a quick question, the Grand Avenue redo?
Yeah.
Is there information available about what the current thought is and where it's going, and what the end goal is, or is this
Sure.
just a visionary project?
No, we have about $8 million from the state to redo Grand Avenue really from State Street all the way to Front Street, with a focus on the James to Front Street section, which is the main commercial corridor.
Right.
And there was an initial design presented at the meeting we had at Fame School, which was, information was circulated through the management team and other groups about a month ago, something like that. So we had drawings up on the wall to look at all of the
Are
proposed
the architectural
redesign.
plans available at City Hall?
So I have asked that they be put online.
Uh-huh.
And they are apparently working on that. We don't have them yet, but as soon as we have them, we can share them through the management team and other channels. Also share them through my list.
Great, that would
Mhm.
be
Yeah,
wonderful.
and if you want to look at physical versions, if you just prefer that probably can be arranged. You probably just have to go to City Hall to look at them,
Mhm.
because it's many sheets to, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so I'm happy to try to set that up for you.
we have a question online from Mary Ann?
Yes, Marianne?
What?
No question?
No,
No
Oh,
question.
okay. Okay, so I thought, no, that's me.
What's
Sorry.
What's the address of
Okay.
the ribbon cutting? What's the address of that building?
374 Grand Avenue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Okay,
I had
yeah.
a couple other things, not from economic development. So the police sergeant mentioned just that we see an increase in, in drug activity and loitering and trash and all the things this time of year. So I just want to remind people, the best thing you can do is to call the non-emergency number for the police department. Even if it takes a while to get through, even if they can't respond right away, it helps to document the patterns in the neighborhood. So anything that you see that doesn't look right to you, please call. Even if you've already called before, even if they can't come right away. I also just want to remind people, we just passed the city budget.
We just, yesterday, the state budget was finalized as well, and one thing to note in the state budget is that our delegation in particular worked very hard on a bill that passed at about 8 o'clock last night to establish a remonstrance process for tobacco. So, you know, we have a process for, like, if you want to try to, hold a liquor permit of a problematic liquor permit holder, like we did for the Grand Cafe. We currently don't have a process like that for tobacco. So we've been working for 2 years to get this to the legislature, and they just passed it last night. So this will be a really powerful tool for smoke shops. And we have a few we're gonna go after right away as soon as we have the process. So stay tuned. Quinnipiac River Park, we do a lot of work in Quinnipiac River Park during the summer. The Friends group is gonna start working Fridays throughout June and July from 6 to 8. There's some flyers over here. So anybody who wants to help plant trees, do gardening in the park, you're more than welcome. URI organizes this along with Friends of Quinnipiac River Park. We also have the plans for the redo of Quinnipiac River Park evolving. We had a community meeting a couple months ago, and they're working on the construction documents now. So you'll start seeing more work happening in the park to fix the trails and stuff like that. And one final thing is, where I work at City Seed, we have something very special happening starting next Friday night. The International Festival of Arts and Ideas is partnering with a Broken Umbrella Theater, which is a New Haven theater troupe that focuses on stories about New Haven. And they've written a play that's about the immigrant food experience, people who bring their food from other countries. And they have a play about pizza. And they've built out this, you can't believe how amazing it looks, this set on the first floor of City Seed that is like, I can't even believe how amazing it is. It's a short run, 3 weeks on the weekends. You can get the tickets at brokenumbrella.com. It's right here in Fairhaven on James Street, so you can walk from here there. So don't miss it. It'll be really, really special, and hope you can all go. Any other questions?
Good, thank you very much.
Okay.
Then next, we have Alder Frank Redente, Ward 15. Alder Frank, please unmute yourself and tell us what you got.
Hello, everyone. I think, like Liz, I am also saddled with toddlers, different species, but I have my toddlers. I don't know, it's always nice. It's a double-edged sword following Sarah and Caroline, because I can always check stuff off what I was going to say, following them up. So I'll be brief, but I just want to follow up on what Sarah said. We've been in a number of meetings, and it keeps getting repeated. The number of calls that we get are recorded. So that data is going to increase our services. If we keep calling and we stay on it and, keep reporting it to See Click Fix, and then following up with us, let us know that you posted it, copy us on the email, stuff like that. Then we can follow up, and it's really working. We're getting more attention. I want to shout out again, Sergeant Alvarado and his crew, but also this time Parks, for the work at Chatham Park. It's looked better than it's looked in a while, the last couple of weeks. And I guess that's really my goal for this summer is, the parks are important to us, and it's important that we keep them safe, for families to go and remain active. So if you see something that bothers you, call somebody, document it, say something, and we'll get on it. Like we want to bring, a lot of us Fairhaveners that have been here a long time remember, Chatham Park area was a really nice area. You should feel safe to walk through it at any time of the day or night. And you got me. I want to fight for your quality of life. I want you to have a nice, safe community, and I want people held accountable. So keep me in the loop. Make the call, send the email, and then let me know. And then the only other thing I really have then is Sunday, 9 a.m., Dover Beach. We're cleaning it up. We like to do it ourselves. So in partnership with the Flynn Project, Fairhaven Matters, James Hatch, and Elm City Community Court, and a number of other folks, we'll be down there most of the day and trying to get up as much of the trash as we can. And we're also going to do some drone footage of the shoreline erosion. So we want to see if we can get some of the Yale kids to start looking into that for us. But other than that, any questions?
Questions? I see one in the room. Go right ahead.
I hate to bring it up, But, just wondering about the underpass for, 91 and Front Street. It's full of garbage every other day. It's still full of garbage. The thing is, I was very hopeful we would get a camera there, not that they would come in with the correct license plate, but it would be really nice if something could be done. It's the entrance to our beautiful community and it's always full of garbage.
Yeah, well,
Did I
I
say
think you,
something to that?
I think you must be reading off a script of what I've been screaming for 2 years because it's a constant fight with DOT and you know, Parks has done a really good job of helping us out, but a lot of the cleanups we've been doing ourselves, and that's why we're going down there this Sunday at 9 a.m. to clean up that underpass and the entire park all the way up to Peck Street. And we'll pick a spot every 2 or 3 weeks and we'll go out there and we'll clean it. Until we can get these city departments staffed up where they can get a proper schedule of maintenance for these parks. You know, I've been saying it since day one. You know, if they're not going to do it, we're going to do it ourselves. So, I mean, I'm on it every day. Again, if there's trash out there, take a picture of it, put it on SeeClickFix. It'll go to the Department of Public Works, and Cynthia is very responsive. She'll get out there. You know, Robbie and those guys, they've been doing a really good job of following up when we have the heads up. You know, if you let us know, we're going to get on it right away. But I'm on that underpass. I go through there every day. So if there's something there, I report it myself.
And Frank himself, I've been out there with him. He's not just talking about it, he's doing it. Another
It's
question.
my neighborhood. That underpass you're talking about is right across the street from where my grandmother's house was in the projects. I played in that water as a kid. This is my neighborhood. I'm not going to let it, you know, we're going to fight for it, you know, but it takes us, it takes all of us. It's not just me, you know, I think they're tired of hearing just me. We need to mobilize, you know, City Hall needs to hear how many people are really fed up with the condition of our neighborhood. You know, there's no different, there should be no difference in our city services here in Fairhaven than there are in East Rock and Morse Cove and other places. But I've seen Parks and Rec with more guys than we've ever seen in Chatham Park when they're cleaning Worcester. So I'm not going to get into that one now.
Don't get into that.
Another comment?
Yeah, Joyce, investigated that underpass business. I believe that the problem with the weak lighting as opposed to bright lighting and the lack of camera is because that property belongs to the state.
Yeah, DOT.
So therefore, the city can't put up lights and they can't put up cameras, so. Yeah, but we have a relationship with the state, we need to do something.
Well, but let me, Don, let me say something.
So let's go ahead and let the Alder.
So Alder Caroline Smith worked really hard on that reconnecting I-91 grant. It will reimagine spaces like that to make them more friendly for families, more accessible. I mean, I've really been trying to figure out a way to get sidewalks, and that a lot of people walk to Walmart from over there, and that's not a safe place for people to be walking. So I think that, I tip my hat off to Alder Smith for getting that conversation going, because that conversation will address that exactly. But we all know that Dover Beach Park and that underpass needs serious attention. And the last time we went out and cleaned, we got drone footage and we got pictures, and, we're going to go out there again this Sunday and we're going to do it again. And, we're going to lobby our state legislators to try to figure out a way to get us some money to repair that seawall in that park. And, those residents deserve it. We deserve it. So, that's my fight. And I said that, I think, in the first community management team meeting of the year. Like, my goal for this second year of my first term was the parks. So,
thank you, Frank. Any other questions of Alder? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, either Frank or
Sarah,
thank you. If you can tell me if I'm trying to see how I can put this. Do you guys, as alders, get reports off of SeeClickFix or from the police non-emergency, or places where issues are reported, and you can review the status of what's going on in those reports, what is the follow-up on everything that is reported?
Well, I do get a follow-up from, an update right to my email from C-Click Fix, and I like to follow up with every department if they're not closed in a certain amount of time.
Yeah, we set up, so we get the secret fixes in our.
So they know it's your district and then you just get reports for your district. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and it's all, I mean, anybody can look at anything. So you can also set up a search of like a
Geographic area.
notification for Fairhaven or for the ward or the river or whatever you want. So that's an option for anybody and they have it set up for us.
But you can pull up a report or something that shows status of in one.
Yes.
Okay.
You can define an area on the map. I've done it on Clinton Avenue in front of my house. And then if anyone reports anything, I can go and look at the map and it shows me just that area.
You can also look at the whole city and zoom in. I mean, all the open reports are accessible to everybody. So
Lee,
it's
and I
fully
have,
transparent.
Lee, I have one further update I forgot.
Okay,
And
go ahead.
it's mainly for Lombard Street residents. So if you notice, we've got a lot of sidewalks done in Ward 15 over the course of the last few months. The goal is to have them all done soon. Lombard Street was always the one I wanted done the most, and I've been pushing on the most. But so what I found out was the reason that Lombard is taking so long is because WPCA and Water Authority are replacing, the water company are replacing all the lateral lines to all the homes along Lombard Street, all the way up, I think, to James Street. And once that's done, then they will go back to where they finished that bit of paving and sidewalks, and they will go back and finish that job. So anybody who lives in that area, just thank you for your patience. I know the sidewalks, especially on Lombard, are really bad in the 100 to 300 block.
Frank, are you talking between Ferry and James? Because I reported it to C-Click Fix, but maybe that's the same area you're talking about.
Ferry and James?
All of Lombard needs to be done. Like there's no, guys, hold on a second. There's no question.
Yes.
All of Lombard needs to get done. And I've been, if you remember when I ran, I said Lombard and Ferry that was my project. And it's been, one thing after another, but that is the thing that is holding everything up on Lombard Street. So as soon as the water company finishes whatever lateral lines that they're repairing or replacing to all the homes, then they will give me a time frame of when they're going to start the paving and finish all those sidewalks.
Oh, that'll be good.
All right, so that's Ferry and Lombard is my main infrastructure priority. I mean Sarah could correct me, but I believe there's something already in the works for Ferry Street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting there. We're getting there. 30 years is a long time.
Yeah, so we have one last, Aldo Crespo, he's not with us. Want to respect your time, so with that, we have concluded our agenda. I'd like to ask for a motion. And a motion, please, from someone?
Frank moved.
Motion to adjourn.
Moved and seconded. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Please don't forget to write to us with any feedback you have. Have a good night.
Seconded it.
Oh, Frank.
Are you supposed to sign in here?
Oh, yes. Sign it right over there.
And don't forget to vote. You'll get a follow-up email. And if you're in the room, come up to the front and drop your vote. And I'll see everyone next month.